I say the door is open and you can leave.
I've buried £1,000 in cash in a secret location in case I ever have to go on the run.
Not that. I wake up every morning thinking I've got a mandate to change the country. I've got a mandate to improve living standards. I've got a mandate to improve the health service.
Who knows about Brexit?
Yeah, quite.
No one's got a fucking clue what Brexit...
You know that, as it were, 1% of MPS come from a schedule or semi-schedule working class foundation. This stunning measurement lies at the heart of Danny Dyer's later assault on Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, as derails against the need of working-class representation in legislative issues were cleared out. Pondering has Labour misplaced touch with its roots and seemed D's support of Angela Rayner flag a potential move within the party's future. Sometime recently we move on. I'd like to inquire you a little favor in the event the EastEnders performing artist turned political commentator Danny Dyer has once more made features for his scorching assault on Keir Starmer D's fleeting rise from cleanser operator to vocal pundit of British legislative issues is very astonishing. Numerous frustrated voters, particularly those who feel deserted by the current administration of the Labour Party, have taken to his colorful lexicon and non-drivel fashion. I say the door is open and you'll be able to take off in each way. D and Starmer are oppositely contradicted. D is from a devastated family in East London, though Starmer worked his way up the stepping stool of control as a prosecutor, and after that chief of open indictments, Dyer has made their distinctive childhoods the centerpiece of his evaluate drawing consideration to the extending hole that numerous see between Labour and its unique supporters.
Comes he can scuttle off. He called all this on.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He has no regrets.
Where is he? He's in Europe.
Are fully costed and fully funded. And that means no tax rises for working people. We're not going to be raising tax on working people.
We will not raise taxes on working people.
We're not putting up taxes on working people.
D finds Starmer irritating, since in his conclusion, Starmer isn't being honest to goodness. I do not like this man, D said gruffly in a later. Meet. I have my doubts around this dude. The position was essentially given to him. So how will you illustrate that? You just are interesting. This is often in line with the seas of numerous Labour supporters who question Starr's compassion for their predicament. The party needs Starmer to bring it up to date and pull in modern individuals concurring to his sponsor. They highlight his endeavors to appear the voters a more direct side of Labour and partitioned it from the Corbyn period. But naysayers like D say this procedure deceives Labour's beginnings and may turn off the party's centre voters. Numerous are starting to address what exact reactions D will exact another as the strain mounts. Will he conversation approximately how Starmer managed with contradictions inside the party? On the other hand, he might criticize ST's financial arrangements as head of the Labour Party. Starmer is being held capable by D for being disengaged from the working course and for coming up short to offer viable resistance to the preservationist government, concurring to his most basic comments to date.
In Nice, with his trotters up, yeah? Where is the geezer? I think he should be held accountable for it. He should be held accountable for it.
It's a valid point.
Tax to record levels. They have broken their promises, and it is the working people of this country that are going to pay the price.
And he considers Labour needs a pioneer who can relate to the battles of the party's centre individuals and has cast question on Starmer's capacity to do so. And he's as of now focusing on retirees. That's completely interesting to me. Danny Dyer dropped a sensation with these comments that might demolish Labour's chances of winning the race. The objection from the EastEnders on-screen character over the Labour Party's deliberate to diminish winter fuel installments for millions of retirees has started a raging talk about who or what is causing the political frenzy to abruptly spin.
What a pensioner is. They don't think of someone living hand to mouth, deciding whether or not to have a meal or to switch on the radiator. I don't think that's how they perceive pensioners.
A parcel of individuals are irate approximately the changes that the Labour Party needs to form to winter fuel installments. The diminishments might affect millions of individuals, counting numerous elderly who depend essentially on this help. Amid the winter months, it's a choice that has numerous individuals perplexed. What gives Labour a political party known for its bolster of the working lesson and other marginalized bunches? The chance to consider a disliked proposition like this, finding an upbeat medium between economic responsibility and prevalent back may be an immortal political problem. The working course is in a troublesome position. On one hand, they're making an exertion to see like dependable trade pioneers. On the flip side, they run the peril of turning off in critical voting square. Genuine repercussions may result from this tight defeat walk. There can be genuine results for retirees. Numerous seniors stress that losing this vital offer assistance would assist strained family budgets as of now, crushed by expanding living costs. Bunches battling for retired people have gone on the hostile, saying that these approaches will harm the economy, and indeed make seniors more helpless to destitution and social confinement. The results concurring to specialists may go well past individual enduring arrangements. Relating to retired people have a long history of having a considerable affect on the comes about of decisions voters of a certain age have appeared. A solid dissatisfaction of political parties that they accept have overlooked their concerns.
Just reassure you that it's actually really easy, because I don't normally do these things either, but I thought this thing is getting ahead of steam.
That I should have stayed in my Kentish Town home and disrupted my son's GCSEs, that was the right thing to do. Then I think you should put that to.
May Labour be selling out? Its claim. Intrigued by taking this activity. A tremendous public backlash against Labour is getting to be more likely as the emergency raises. There's been an overflowing of feedback on social media, and tabloids have had a field day with it. Everybody is pondering on the off chance that Labour would disavow their position or stay. Steadfast within the confront of expanding weight, numerous are thoughtful to D's defense of retired people in this disagreeable climate. Those who accept the political course as disconnected from the issues confronted by standard individuals have found common ground with his coordinate non-garbage approach. There's an urgent minute for Labour as open supposition turns against D on the off chance that they overlook D, and others like him. Their notoriety as the People's Party will take an advance hit. Danny Dyer has out of the blue tossed his back to Ang Rayner. Indeed, though Labour shows up to be floating absent from its beginnings. Since of his sympathy for working-class individuals, D has taken an intrigue within the delegate prime. Serve is Rayner's searing identity and trustworthiness, sufficient to unseat the authority of Labour. A political pixie story may well be composed on Angela Rayner's life. Incredibly, Rayner rose from humble beginnings as the girl of a single mother on a Stockport committee state to a position of conspicuousness in British legislative issues. Voters like D appreciate her earnestness since her past is so diverse from Keir Starmer's cleaned picture. Rayner has ended up well known in Parliament for her energetic talks, which she employments to battle for social decency and against cut-stew open administrations.
I understand that some people won't like the changes that we've made. But I say this with all candour.
That the grassroots development holds her in tall regard due to her direct identity and strength in going up against those in specialist with the truth. The systematic, indeed clinical way of Starmer is in stark differentiate to this approach. Hello, Rayner, and Starmer appear to be exceptionally tense with each other. Whereas Starmer tries to create Labour more comprehensive, Rayner remains true to the party's roots within the working lesson. The more prominent personality emergency that Labour is encountering is reflected in this inner struggle. Will the party be able to win back middle-class voters, whereas two rejoining with its base individuals are talking almost D's back for Rayner? Her numerous admirers are singing her acclaims online, saying she speaks to a welcome altar in British legislative issues. Be that as it may, there are skeptics, there are a few interior, the party who are concerned that Rayner's searing identity would harm him within the common race. In any case, of these reservations, Rayner's future authority capacities within the Labour Party are evident. She's exceptionally well-liked among Labour voters, especially those from working-class families concurring to the surveys. Starmer has never been great at making honest-to-goodness associations with normal individuals. theory of a conceivable authority challenge as political examiners on inverse sides of the issue, whereas a few respect Reyna as the self-evident, choose to re-establish labor to its establishing standards, others question. She can marshal the support needed to secure a common decision. Triumph. It all comes down to the another. A few months-long haul of labor is unstably balanced. As baffled individuals react to Danny Dyer's request for expanded representation of the working course in legislative issues, a talk on labor personality and its capacity to lock in with its memorable base has been revived by the EastEnder star's frank feedback of the party's authority. All through its history, labor has stood as the voice of the working lesson, supporting for the rights of commoners and the cause of social equity, be that as it may. The party's notoriety have changed within the past few a long time. Numerous individuals think that the Labour Party has gotten to be as well skewed toward middle-class experts and has overlooked its unique reason of standing up for specialists. Rights? Labour faces an impressive deterrent in this personality. Emergency. Is there a way for the party to keep its steadfast supporters cheerful, whereas still coming to out? To a more extensive extent of voters, numerous European left-wing parties are finding this adjusting act troublesome for occurrence. As populism has developed in France, the Communist Party has seen a decrease in bolster from the working course. It would be absurd to mark down the impact of celebrated individuals like Danny Dyer on open wrangles around legislative issues. Numerous citizens who accept the political lesson as disregarding them have reacted to his striking explanations. Individuals are compelled to reevaluate their recognition of labor and its administration, since to de-influential and blunt communication fashion, on the off chance that labor needs to urge back to its roots, it might ponder how other parties have accomplished victory, for case the Scottish National Party's dynamic social approaches have made a difference. It win over more youthful individuals, whereas holding its conventional base of bolster in a comparable vein might Labour take the lead in advancing approaches that resound with its long-term supporters, as well as its more youthful, more different enrollment. The Labour Party is confronted with a pivotal decision. A speculation on the party's future trajectory grows. Will STM's cautious centrist stance be reinforced? On the other hand, maybe under new leadership, it will take a more radical position for years to come.
Some think the party can't
Labour's
survive
electoral
unless it
fate
gets back
may
to
be
its
decided by the
working class
answer.
origins.
The
So we know
possible
that
evolution of
undecided
Labour
voters,
has ethical
some argue,
analysts
a
on
centrist
opposite
strategy is
sides.
required.
Some
The
think the
increasing
party
chasm
can't
that
survive
exists
unless it
between
gets
Labour's
back to
leadership
its working
and its
class.
long-time supporters
Origins
must
to
be
win
addressed,
over
regardless of
undecided
the course of
voters,
action
some
that the
argue a
party takes.
centrist strategy is
Beyond the
required.
party itself,
The
Labour's
increasing
identity
chasm
crisis
that
has
exists between
far-reaching
Labour's leadership
consequences.
and its
The leadership
long-time
of Britain's
supporters
largest political
must be
party,
addressed regardless
Labour,
of the course
will
of
determine
action
the course of
that the
British
party
politics for
takes
the
beyond the
foreseeable
party
future.
itself. Labour's identity crisis has far-reaching consequences. The leadership of Britain's largest political party, Labour, will determine the course of British politics for the foreseeable future,